Hi, welcome to Bucket List. I'm Raji, and today you are going to be seeing a very casual and raw vlog of me reading this book called The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Now, I've already read Circe by Madeline Miller, and so I know that this book's writing style is going to be brilliant. And as far as the story, I know nothing much about it except that it is a Greek myth and a tragic love story between two men called Achilles and Patroclus. So I love tragedy. I love crying over a good book. So my expectation for this book has already skyrocketed, and I can't wait to just dive right in and find out what this book has in store for me. Let's begin. So I just got done with the first three chapters of the book, and let's just say I am having mixed emotions right now. When I started the book, I thought it was going to be from Achilles' point of view, and I thought it was going to be a fast paced read. But I was wrong on both the accounts that this book is actually from the perspective of Patroclus, and it's a slow paced book, which I'm not complaining about because the writing style is so brilliant. There's that. And to tell you a little bit about Patroclus, he is right now he is a 9-year-old prince who's not really happy in his life because of his father, the king. Um, he ridicules him, calls him a coward, comments about how bad he looks and tells him that he's good for nothing. And it's just so sad how kids can internalize all these things they hear and actually believe it to be true. And Patroclus does that. He is a timid, quiet, insecure prince, a little boy who is subjected to a lot of insecurity because of his father, I would say. Yeah, so currently Achilles and Patroclus are both in the same kingdom, but they haven't really spoken to each other, and Patroclus hasn't yet realized that he is gay. So I'm just waiting for the point in the story where he realizes that he likes Achilles. So, yeah, so far, so good. I just can't wait to continue this. Hello. So it is 8:30 p.m. right now, and I'm already done with my dinner because I wanted to read. Just sipping on my coffee, and I was able to finish two more chapters of the book, and I'm just blushing throughout. Anyway, so Achilles and Patroclus both are like 13 years old right now, and it's like I think Patroclus kind of knows that he might be gay because he's not really feeling interested in girls, and I think Achilles likes him back, but I'm not sure. Even Patroclus is not sure. Anyway, so there is this very beautiful friendship blooming between the two of them, and I am loving it because I am all for friends to lovers trope. It's slow brewing. It's like it flows natural. It's beautiful. So I'm still waiting there for them to get together, but okay, technically they're just 13, so it's wrong of me to expect that, but it's beautifully written. It doesn't feel rushed at all. This is the kind of romance that I live for, seriously. And Patroclus keeps describing Achilles as like this boy with golden locks of hair and blue eyes, and I'm like, Madeline Miller, yes, so nice. And yeah, let's just get into it, and I will be reading till I fall asleep. It is 12:30 a.m. right now, and I'm super proud of myself for finishing 10 chapters of this book, even though my reading goal of the day was only 6 chapters. Yeah, so I couldn't put the book down because a lot a lot happened. The pace of the book quickly picked up, and even though I'm super sleepy right now, I would like to give you a quick recap of what I just read in the last few chapters. We know that Achilles is like a half human and half god, because his mother is actually a goddess and his father is a human king. But here's the thing, I really don't like Greek gods because, in my opinion, they're very immoral and power hungry. So I really hope that Achilles chooses to remain human. I don't know, like, he's like a cat on the wall because of the way his mom is acting up right now. But I really hope he chooses to remain human. It's the most amazingly written romance I've ever read. So much so that I'm jealous that I'm single. It's that good. Like, they're always there for each other. They completely accept each other's shortcomings, and they're always ready to help each other, become better people. Like, for example, I told you that I feel like Achilles is like a cat on the wall who might become a god, but Patroclus is always there to like keep him grounded and keep him more in touch with his human side. So I loved that. And also, I told you that Patroclus is like very insecure and not very confident about himself. But when Achilles is around, he feels like this new person. He's very happy for the first time in life, I think, because he's never had that kind of love before. This book is personally written for Raji by Madeline Miller. It has all my favorite tropes, like it has the chosen one trope, it has friends to lovers trope, it has LGBTQ love, and what else? It has a lot of mythological creatures. So I can't sleep. I'm so sleepy, I can't sleep. I am on page 144, chapter 13. A lot has happened in the book since last night. I woke up late today and just took a quick shower, and I'm back to reading now. And I've started highlighting because there are too many cute quotes happening all over the pages. So let me just read you one which almost made me cry. Had she really thought I would not know him? I could recognize him by touch alone, by smell. I would know him blind, by the way his breaths came and his feet struck the earth. I would know him in death at the end of the world. I mean, only Madeline Miller can write stuff like this. Okay, so the Trojan War is about to begin, and Achilles needs to go and fight in the war. And the sweetest thing is that Patroclus needs to go wherever Achilles goes. So it's just the sweetest thing ever. And this is kind of a spoiler, but all right. So Achilles is now married. He has a pregnant wife. Just read the book to know how. Also, I hate Achilles' mom so much that I wish she dies. I don't care for her. I don't even empathize with her. She is just the meanest, weirdest person ever. So let me quickly get back to reading. I hate this book so much. I think I might DNF it. Or maybe I'll continue it tomorrow, maybe give it another chance. The thing that just happened in this book is so unfair. I can't continue right now. Hi, so it's the next day, and let's just talk about what happened yesterday. Well, I wouldn't want to be a woman in this book or this entire time period because they are so damn ill treated. Like, they're just objects to be exchanged between kings. You know, whether be it a wife or a friend or even a daughter, they're just commodities. They're just, their feelings are not respected. And I don't know, man, it just infuriated me so damn much. And I actually texted a lot of my Bookstagram friends who recommended this book to me, and they were all like, please don't DNF this book, it's about to get so intense and good right now. That's why I decided to pick it up again. I'm just going to give it another try, considering that this is actually what happened in history. It would be wrong of Madeline Miller to not write about this, right? So, women were ill treated back then, they were burnt for wrongdoings. So, yes, like, it makes sense that a retelling of a Greek mythology had to have these things. And it kind of doesn't really affect the love story of Patroclus and Achilles. So I still love them. So that's why I'm just going to give it another chance and see for myself if I like the book. Right now, I'm still feeling repulsed to start it again, but yeah, I am going to. I love this book so much right now that I'm so glad I did not DNF it. Seriously. So, the war is happening, and here and there you can read it's like 5 years later, and 7 years later into the war, and 10 years later, and that's when you realize how many years are actually spent in the Trojan War. Whoa. So, there are so many war strategies and bloodshed and so much politics involving Trojans, and let's see who is with Achilles. Who is fighting with Achilles is Agamemnon, Odysseus, Diomedes, Menelaus, and Nestor. So I don't like these 5 people. They're Greek heroes and some are gods. Apollo is on their side. I just hate them, and I know that they don't mean well to Achilles or Patroclus. They just are using them both. We have all heard that opposites attract, right? And this is so true when it comes to Achilles and Patroclus, because Achilles is like a born warrior. He loves killing people at wars. He doesn't have any remorses. But Patroclus, on the other hand, even though he is required to fight in these wars as a soldier, he doesn't like hurting people. He is scared of blood. And he is good with medicines, so he helps his soldiers heal better, and it's like he wants to support Achilles, be a war hero, but also judges him for killing so many people and taking so many lives. So he's just constantly stuck in between the two mindsets. And when he shares this with Odysseus, he says, Achilles is a weapon, a killer, do not forget it. You can use a spear as a walking stick, but that will not change its true nature. The metaphor, wow, like, okay, there's this another scene where Patroclus and Achilles get into a huge fight because of some war strategy and like morals. And Patroclus is like, he doesn't know how to be angry with me either. We are like damp wood that won't light. Again, the metaphor. I wish I could write like this. I'm just like, 8 p.m. right now, and I wasn't able to read much today because my MBA classes have started and I had online classes all throughout the day. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish the book tonight. I'm on chapter 30. There are only 33 chapters left, so I'm pretty sure I'll finish this tonight. So we see that there is this prophecy regarding Achilles that he is going to die if XYZ dies. And poor Patroclus is just trying to make sure that that doesn't happen. It's already heartbreaking because Achilles is kind of losing it. I mean, I understand it's been 10 years in war. He's not acting like himself in the last few chapters, and it pains me to even think that after Achilles dies, Patroclus has to live alone again without love. I'm actually sad for Patroclus. I don't know if Achilles deserves it or not to die. He is losing it, man. Like, anyway, so it's 8 p.m. right now. As I said, I am having my dinner. Okay, so it is spinach. I'm one of those people who love spinach. I'm going to read and have my dinner. So I just finished the book, and there is this plot twist in the end that I did not see coming. It surprised me, it broke me, seriously. And if there was an option to give 100 stars to a review, I would gladly give it to this, because I'd say there could not have been a more perfect ending for the story. It was so sad and tragic and at the same time beautiful. Like, I did not expect that, but okay. Okay, so I'm not going to spoil anything for you, so don't worry about that. But because I really want you to read the book. My favorite takeaway from this book is how Patroclus' character is written. And he's just like fish out of water. He's like, I'm so grateful that he is not like the other lunatic warriors in this story, and all the narcissistic gods. He deserved better, but okay. I love it. He didn't deserve it, but as I said in the starting of this video, I love sad books. I love crying over books. So this one was obviously a 5 on 5 star rating for me, and I had so much fun vlogging this whole experience, and I highly recommend that you pick this up even if you don't know anything about Greek mythology. In many ways that is so much better, because I got into this book without knowing anything from the Iliad, which is the story which this book is based upon. And I think this is meant to be read by like new fresh readers. If you have no idea of Greek mythology, pick this book up. If you love LGBT representation, pick this book up. If you love beautiful prose, pick this book up. You will not regret it. Trust me on this. Just pick this book up. Even if you are a beginner, it doesn't matter. If you've never even read a single book before, it doesn't matter, because this book is meant to be read very, very slowly, I think. So go on chapter by chapter, read it very slowly, because there are a lot of goosebump moments when you read a quote and just let it sink in. For example, it took me the entire April month to finish this book. I've read bigger books than this in a month, but I just wanted to make it a very slow read, because I was just like drinking the words up, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so if you liked my vlog, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified anytime I post a new video. I feel like telling you spoilers, so I'm just gonna go, okay? Bye.